One thing I can say for certain is you are almost guaranteed to not have time. What do I mean by that? It's really simple. If you don't make time for something that's important to you, something that either you have a passion for or you want to do, you want to accomplish, I can guarantee you one thing, it'll never get done. You'll never find the time for it. I have used the excuse of I don't have time probably more than most. And if you're listening to this, let me give you a little story. Many years ago, and for about 4 or 5 years, I used the excuse of I couldn't work out because I didn't have time. I couldn't take care of myself because I didn't have time. I couldn't cook a good meal for myself or prep my meal for the next day at work because I didn't have time. Because I preferred the convenience of going out and either getting fast food or getting something else really quick and easy. And that's the truth. And I would delude myself with that more times than I can count. What I can tell you at the end of the day is a couple of things happened. One, I was not terribly happy with either myself or the way I felt. Two, I would get angry at myself because I realized it was nonsense, but I kept feeding into the nonsense, which actually made it worse. And three, I got worse overall. My health deteriorated. My mental edge kind of deteriorated because I think we all know if we're not feeling great, we're not very sharp. And the truth is, if you don't make time for the things that are important to you, things that you value, things that either make you stronger, make you better, make you sharper, make you happy, nothing will. And I have used that excuse so many times, but it wasn't until I started to make time. I would come up with these ideas that if I started to use a better planning system, if I try to multitask better, maybe I would have more time. I bought into a lot of the stuff that you see online. And as somebody who has bought more planning systems than I care to admit, the few that I will tell you that I bought, and I bought more than just this, I have bought Bullet Journal, I have bought RPM from Tony Robbins, I have bought the Franklin Covey method, I have bought At a Glance method, and a few more. And I actually use another one right now called Best Self, just because I like the way the layout is. But the one thing I can tell you about all of these systems, these hacks, these whatever is, they only work if you're doing the system. And if you miss a step, guess what? You're shit out of luck, because I was. And then you end up getting angry at yourself. The reality is, one, find a system that works for you. For me, just come up with a plan, a few things that I want to accomplish a day, 3 to 5, not more than that, and just sticking to it. Actually setting the time, maybe getting a timer, 25 minutes. I'm going to sit down, I'm going to read this book. 25 minutes, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to do this part of work task. Sit down, 25 minutes. I'm not going to touch my phone. I'm going to just look out the window and relax because I'm so overly stressed that I don't know how to breathe. Let's be all honest here. Work, life, the world right now is busy. It's chaotic. And if you don't take time for yourself, you're not going to be at your best. And when the people who need you the most can't count on you, it's going to take a toll on you. It's going to take a toll on them too, but it's going to take a toll mostly on you, as I know it did for me. I've been trying to make this video, oh my God, for about a day now, and my kids either needed something would pop up, and I'm doing it now after they're in bed. Why? Because it's important to me, because I enjoy this. I love sharing things that I've learned because I try to help people, maybe so they don't make the same mistakes that I have. They don't buy into the nonsense that they don't have time for something. Everybody has some time somewhere to figure out something important for them. But sometimes the hardest thing is figuring out what is that thing that's important to you. For me, it was making sure that I grounded most of my things in physical fitness and learning. Reading either a book or part of philosophy, listening to a podcast, something that kind of expanded my mind, that made me think in a new way. I didn't want to feel stagnant. I didn't want to feel like I was just staying the same or getting worse. And I don't think that I'm uncommon here. I think a lot of us feel that way. We want to feel like we're moving forward. One of the best ways to do that is to carve out those times that light you up in life, that make you feel like you're ablaze, like you're doing something meaningful with your life. So take the time. I'm serious. Take the time. 20 minutes. You can accomplish a lot more in 20 minutes than you would realize. Set a timer. Do 20 minutes. Put your phone somewhere far away. Because let me tell you something. That is distracting as hell, and I know it for a fact. It's one of my big problems, too. But set a timer for 20 minutes. And pen and paper. What are things that are really important to you? Is it fitness? Is it art? Is it music? Maybe you want to act. Maybe you want to do photography. Figure it out. And then set 20 minutes, set 30 minutes. Find the time. Even if it's late, maybe it's after your kids go to bed. Maybe it's before your kids wake up. Maybe it's before work. Give it a try, because I tell you this, if you do invest that time, it'll be there. If you make that time, it will be there. But one thing I guarantee you, if you don't, you will never have that time. And then, yeah, that excuse is valid. But unfortunately, it's valid because you made it valid, not because it has to be.